Hello, you snacks. Welcome back. My name is Jack. It is a pleasure to see you as always. It's time to read some more Reddit stories. Let's begin. This story began in r/relationships by Antique Paramedic. I, 24 male, caught my girlfriend, 23 female, sleeping in bed with her male friend, 25 male, after she told me she wouldn't. My girlfriend and I have been together for 3 years, and for the past year, we've lived together in a studio apartment in a major US city. My girlfriend has a close male friend from college who lives a couple of states away, and apparently he was going to be coming to our city on Memorial Day weekend to go to a convention. She asked if he could stay over in our apartment to save money and so they could hang out more. I was already planning to do a solo visit to see family that weekend, so I wouldn't be around. I asked about sleeping arrangements. She said she'd get an air mattress for him to sleep on. So, that was last weekend. I went to see family like I had planned, and her friend stayed at our place with her. She texted me a couple of pictures from the convention, so I know they both did go. I told my girlfriend I'd be back Monday afternoon, but I decided to leave a bit early and got back Monday at around 8 a.m. I walked in, the air mattress was crumpled up in the corner, and my girlfriend and her male friend were sleeping together in our bed. This obviously caused a huge blow-up. I'm not proud, but I did yell at her, because it was such a huge shock to walk in and see that. She told me she didn't do anything. The air mattress started leaking, and she didn't feel like going out at midnight to try and fix it. And it should be obvious that nothing inappropriate happened because he was above the covers, and she had a pillow between them. The guy said nothing happened. I told him to let me look through his bag to see if he brought condoms, and he basically said, "Piss off," and left. Now it's the following weekend, and everything is still tense. I don't know if my girlfriend cheated or not, and I don't know what to do. She is angry that I am accusing her of cheating, and says she's sorry for not texting me about it at the time, but she didn't think it was a big deal. I pumped up the air mattress, and it does have a little hole in it. But it could have been made on purpose. I don't know what to think. Now, to answer some immediate questions, someone asks, do y'all not own a couch? To which Opie informs, we don't. It's just a bed and an armchair. It's a very small apartment. But now, despite how convenient these excuses all are, how one could have easily hooked up and then just, set the bed up like that to make it not seem like they had slept together, comments are actually all on the girlfriend's side. Come on, man, if you were going to sit there and accuse her of making it leak on purpose, then you just need to break up because you will never, ever trust her again. Which, yeah, makes sense. I mean, as this comment says, making the leak on purpose and then set up this intricate covers and pillows, a sleeping arrangement, all of it just in case Opie happened to come home early while they were asleep. You're basically accusing your partner of being some sort of sociopath at this point. But now Opie does admit they're actually trying to see everyone's perspective here. It might not sound like it, but I am really trying hard to convince myself that nothing happened. But if you have never walked in on your girlfriend in bed with another man, you can't understand what it feels like to see it and how quickly it shatters trust. I mean, that is a fair point, which has other commenters thinking, don't listen to people saying you were in the wrong. Fact is, you were cool with another dude sleeping at your place with your girlfriend without you with one freaking rule. He could have slept anywhere but in your sleeping spot, on your bed. He disrespected you by sleeping in your freaking bed. Think about that. That's gross. Dudes sweat when we sleep. I am talking full-on salty, hairy butt sweat. He is a douche, and she is a bad liar and a bad partner in the relationship. Dump and move on. But that's all that was really left by OP for about 19 days until we come to this update. So you guys convinced me that the situation that my girlfriend was describing was true. I came around on the fact that it was really paranoid of me to think that they deliberately put a hole in an air mattress and concocted that whole sleeping situation with him over the covers and the pillow separator just in case I got home early. Basically, I feel like if she actually did cheat, she would have just had him sleep on the air mattress after. I apologized to my girlfriend and called her friend and apologized for acting like a jealous freak. I got a pretty lukewarm response from both. I tried to go back to normal over the next couple of weeks, but my girlfriend was cold towards me. I tried to initiate a conversation, but all I got was, if you don't trust me, why should I trust you? Then, this past weekend, she broke up with me. She went through my phone while I was in the shower and found some texts from a boneheaded one-time mistake I made over 2 years ago, and that was enough for her. She has gone to live with a friend in our city until we can work out what to do about the apartment. We're both on the lease, and neither of us can afford to live here by ourselves. And it's a studio, so we can't just bring in another roommate. So, not the happiest update. Now I'm trying to figure out where I am going to live and kind of wishing I had never opened my stupid mouth. Yes, folks. Did you read that? Did you listen correctly? Old mate here, after all his original post complaints about accusing his partner of being unfaithful and cheating, he is literally that partner. My favorite part of this is how much he tries to downplay it in this update, while in the original post he was trying to make out that she was some deceitful, conniving villain. And how the comments are not afraid to point this out. This is hilarious and awful for her. So you try and make out that she concocted this crazy elaborate scheme to cheat on you, piercing the air mattress, setting up pillows, and yet you're the one who cheated. Yeah, I mean, you got mad at her for supposedly cheating, yet you cheated yourself. Of course it was enough for her. You're downplaying what you did. To which Opie replies, I will say that I never carried on an affair with another girl. It was literally one mistake, one moment in time, 2 years ago. Yes, it was hypocritical of me, but I honestly felt that it was kinda not to tell her and to commit to being a better boyfriend rather than break her heart over something that did not have to define us. And we did have 2 wonderful years together that would have likely continued if it weren't for this incident, which I take responsibility for. I just feel like we both could have been happy. But I let a moment of paranoid jealousy get the better of me, and now neither of us are happy. Wow, man. Wow. Do you see the mental gymnastics? Someone responds, how dare you make it seem like you did this for her? She had the right to know what you did and make an informed decision whether she wanted to continue to date a cheater or not. Most likely, she now feels those 2 years were wasted when she could have been finding someone loyal who respects her. Oh sure, she's sad now, but she will be happy and find someone worthy of her trust. It really brings to light how much Opie clearly planned this. He was hoping to catch her cheating. It was clearly some guilty conscience of his that he had this entire time. If I catch her cheating, then I don't have to feel as bad about myself anymore. Anyway, to wrap up with this beautiful sound advice regarding omitting the truth, they don't lie to protect your feelings. They lie because the truth may cause you to take actions that aren't serving their interests. But moving on to the next story. From a deleted user, am I the a-hole for asking my husband not to go on a trip with a woman who openly flirts with him and feeling betrayed when he did anyway? Hi everyone, I'm a 32 female and I've been married to my husband, let's call him Joe, for 8 years, together for 10. In all that time, we've always prioritized each other's emotional well-being. If something hurt one of us, we didn't do it again, no matter what. We valued having a happy spouse more than being right. Because of this, my love and trust for him grew immensely. I was certain he'd never do anything that would break my heart. But here I am, heartbroken and disappointed. Joe owns a company, and we work together. Financially, we're in a great place. Recently, through Joe's father, we got the chance to bid for a major government contract, a massive opportunity. Due to its scale, several companies are teaming up, and one key company involved, without whom the deal won't happen, is led by a very attractive, flirty woman. She's the CEO and has openly flirted with Joe in front of me. Now, we both noticed her behavior, and in order to avoid misunderstandings or conflict, we decided to work on the bid together. Things were okay, until one meeting where, during a break, she touched Joe's arm and said something like, if I had a husband like you, I'd never leave his side. You're someone every woman wants, but sometimes even that's not enough. Someone else might steal your mind. I snapped and responded, I'm not following him. He just never leaves my side. She brushed it off as a joke, but I know it wasn't. I saw the look in her eyes, and women just know. Later, I talked to Joe about it. He admitted she was crossing a line and that he was uncomfortable, but didn't react strongly to avoid jeopardizing the deal. I wasn't thrilled, but I tried to understand. Then today, I found out that I was excluded from a 3-day site visit for the bid, a trip requested by that woman. Only 5 people are going, and Joe is one of them. When I heard, I told him I was extremely uncomfortable with this and asked him not to go. I begged, actually. I said the deal wasn't worth this. We're financially stable and don't need this contract. But he went anyway. Even after everything I said, he left without me. So something broke in me. I trusted him with my whole heart. I truly believed he'd never choose anything over my peace of mind. But now I feel like he did. He left me behind. It hurts me so deeply that part of me doesn't even care anymore. If he comes back, if he ends up with that woman, I feel numb. A part of me says, come on, 10 amazing years, don't throw it all away. Another part wants to take off my wedding ring, send him a photo, and file for divorce. So, am I the a-hole for asking him not to go? And how do I even begin to deal with these emotions? So there's a few angles to go about with this. Something the husband here was tricked. That sounds like she purposely excluded you and he fell for it. But Opie says that yes, she did, and he knows it though. He still went anyway. So okay, why couldn't you just join the trip anyway? And that's what others say they're wondering. If she doesn't take the meeting, she could at least be at the hotel and stay with him, and he could make sure she comes to whatever meals, etc. It's not like they're going to some sort of private office that you need special security clearance to go to. This is where most of the comments kind of get on Opie's side here. I'm sorry, but for him to exclude you means not even worrying about your opinion. It's because something emotional was already going on and something physical is going to happen on the trip. Run to find a lawyer because the way they excluded you, they could very well remove you from the company, or they could leave taking the clients and forming a partnership with it. I mean, it makes sense to be suspicious of this. It's one for a guy to be really naive. It's another for him to be aware of it and still going along with it. But now some comments aren't entirely in this sort of thought. I think you're wildly overreacting. All of those years of prioritizing each other's emotional well-being so that your love and trust have grown immensely are in jeopardy because of something that he hasn't actually done? You said the deal wasn't worth it. Well, maybe he doesn't agree. His peace of mind might be greatly enhanced if he wins the bid that his father helped make possible. Your whole post is about your feelings. His aren't mentioned once, and it's not clear they're considered beyond. You expect his feelings to be prioritizing your feelings. Do you have a plan to make up for the lost revenue? Look, I don't know your husband. If you don't trust him, this deal and that woman aren't the problem. If you do trust him, it seems like the first time he didn't do what you wanted, you don't even care anymore. Now Opie responds to this. The problem is he went to a trip with a woman who wants him. I trust him. I trust he loves me and wants to win this bid. But it broke me that he is willing to do it even if it hurts me and breaks the trust between us. Still though, many think that she is the a-hole, saying that where is the trust in your partner of 10 years? I see nowhere in the post any mention of him flirting back with her or him giving you any actual reason of concern. He is going on this trip with someone he told you makes it uncomfortable for his and your business and your future. But these thoughts aren't the majority. And let's be real, based on these Reddit stories, this is textbook behavior of someone who clearly enjoys the flirting they're receiving. So what are the options? As comments think that what could she do? Book another room in the same hotel and then follow them around desperately? Well, a day later we get an update where OP books the same hotel and follows them around desperately. First of all, thank you so much to everyone who shared their thoughts. I wanted to update you on what happened since yesterday. I did something I never thought I'd do. I drove to the place where my husband and his team were staying. Yes, I know, desperate and honestly not like me at all, but jealousy and love can make people do wild things. It was only a 3-hour drive. On the way, Joe kept calling and texting, but I didn't respond. I didn't know what to say, and I didn't want to say something I'd regret later. When I arrived at the hotel, I didn't let him know. I was inspired by some of your comments suggesting hiring a PI. I wanted to see things for myself. I just needed to know. If something was happening, I wanted to witness it with my own eyes. When I got there, the group of 5 was sitting together in the lounge. They seemed to be having a good time, Joe included. But importantly, Joe was sitting far from her, so there was no chance of physical contact. He was engaging in the conversation, but still texting me non-stop. From afar, he looked like he was chatting with someone, but it was actually me on his phone. Please answer me, don't be mad, talk to me, etc. I had plans to just observe, but I couldn't take it. There was a cafe near the hotel, so I went there and messaged Joe to meet me. He showed up smiling and hugged me tightly. I was supposed to be strong, to demand answers, but the moment he held me, I just started crying like an idiot. He comforted me for a while. Then I finally asked the question I should have asked earlier, and many of you pointed out, why didn't he bring me along? Not as a team member, but as his wife. He said it was because I was already very upset at how she excluded me, and he thought bringing me might escalate the tension. According to him, he's been handling her flirty behavior by keeping it light and not letting it cross any lines. Joe believes this woman isn't even after him, that she's competing with me. He said some people feed off of making others uncomfortable, and she's clearly one of them. She chose you as a rival, he said. It's not about me. It's about her wanting to disturb you to feel powerful. Now, that sounds a bit off to me, honestly. She's a successful CEO. She's already powerful. But still, he insisted that he's been keeping his distance and not giving her any encouragement. He said he didn't think this trip would affect me this deeply, and reminded me that over 10 years, I've seen women hit on him before, but this is the first time someone has gotten under my skin like this. He also opened up about how important this contract is to him. He doesn't want to disappoint his father, and he feels like we might never get another opportunity like this. He asked me to trust him. We went back to the hotel together and had breakfast. To be honest, I am not as angry as I was the day before. I didn't even mention divorce during our conversation. I'm still upset, yes, but the heartbreak I felt has eased. I don't know if it's normal, but the sharp pain has been replaced by a strange calm. Tonight, we'll have dinner together as a group. So it does seem assured that there is nothing insidious going on. Comments suggesting, stay there till the end. It will rub her nose in it without uttering a word to her. But others disagree. No, be nice as pie, friendly even. Show her that her efforts have no meaning. She has no agency. Her competitiveness has no effect. It will drive the other woman mad and also show OP to be a secure woman in a loving and supportive relationship. Everything, in other words, she lacks herself. With others, rest assured that 99.99999% chance he's definitely not doing anything with that woman. When he found out you were there, he would have been mad and questioning why you were even there. It sounds as if he was pretty calm. A spouse with nothing to hide won't be mad at a snooping spouse. Others even agreeing with his comments about the CEO. That, I believe she sees you as a rival. As a woman, I have been in situations where other women want to compete with me to feel powerful while also objectively already being more successful than me. I don't believe she is platonic in the slightest, but I do believe this is mainly about feeling more powerful than you being with your husband. He is just a way to get under your skin. OP appreciating this perspective, but still not really understanding that justification. But just like this comment says, they know that if they do anything to climb to the top of the pile, this CEO woman, then other people would too. So they see everyone as a potential threat. And honestly, I don't even think this is a gender-specific behavior. There's plenty of guys who are like this as well. It all stems back to that casual bit of insecurity inside all of us, especially when you work in something that is a competitive field that's all about bidding for contracts. But then how do things wrap up in the final update with the dinner? Hi again, everyone. I wanted to answer a few recurring questions from the comments and also share how the dinner went. First of all, I don't live in the US, and English is not my first language. That's why I write my updates in my native language and use ChatGPT to translate them so they're easier to understand. When I respond to comments directly, I type in English myself, so please excuse any grammar mistakes. As for Joe and me, we've been together for 10 years and have worked together for almost 8 of those. Like any couple, we've had ups and downs, but we've managed to come through without major scars. Joe has gone on many business trips before, often with other women present, and I've never had a problem with that. I'm not someone who panics just because my husband is away on a work trip. We've faced similar situations before and handled them without much issue because we trust each other. But this time was different. As Joe said, maybe it hit harder because this woman was going after me, not him. She was directly trying to get under my skin, and she succeeded. I let my emotions spiral, and things could have gone to a much worse place. I'm relieved they didn't. Joe told me that while my doubts and reactions did upset him a little, he understands why I felt the way I did and doesn't blame me. He said, if I were in your place, I'd feel terrible too, but I never thought you'd believe I'd betray you like that. He's right. I was unfair to him on that front, but he also told me he knows how much I've endured for him and that he'll work on making sure I never feel that way again. And I believe him. Now, about dinner, it actually went pretty well overall. Nobody questioned my presence, and Joe told them he invited me. The woman did make a few passive-aggressive comments, though, mostly disguised as jokes. At one point, she said something like, if she weren't always in her husband's shadow, she could be doing so much more. Later, she said I was being wasted in this company and could thrive at a bigger firm. I didn't let it get to me. I smiled and simply said, you seem to have a great eye for people's potential. Some of the others in the group, who I already knew, actually suggested I participate in the final day of work, but I declined. I didn't want it to look like I was trying to compete with her or prove anything. I told them, I'm just here for Joe, and for the fun parts. If we win this bid, we'll have to work with this woman for another 5 years, and that worries me. But I also know we won't be seeing her that often. This contract means a lot to Joe, so I guess I'll have to learn how to live with it. Now, on the note of those final comments from the woman here, I get some comments to be inspired to say, that's awesome, but next time she calls for a meeting, you should go instead of him. Say, we all agreed with your assessment that I have more potential, so I'll be point on this contract from now on. There's nothing you need Joe for that I can't handle on his behalf, right? Oh yes, please OP, please call her out on this equivalent of her calling you beautiful and you respond with, "Aw, thank you, I do think we look alike." Anyway, with that said, we'll end today's video there. Thank you, as always, for watching. Let me know your thoughts on anything down below. They're a fun little read to have on my morning errands. Treat yourself well, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.